everybody, welcome back to my channel. You're cooking with Chef Boyardee today. Please ignore my hoodie because it's Sunday. It's a lazy day. I can do what I want. So, what we're gonna be making today is some fresh pasta. Sorry, Axel was drinking really loud. So, what you're gonna need is some regular flour. I went ahead and already measured this out because I'm just gonna pretty much mix it together, and this is gonna be like the first half of the video, or like the first excuse me, part of the video, and then there will be like a couple other parts to the video. This is just how we're gonna actually like make our pasta, but I have like regular all-purpose flour, and then I have this guy, which is semolina flour. It's pretty much just used to make pasta. There's actually a pasta recipe on the back of the bag that you can use. This is the recipe that I used when I was in school. I took my scale, I measured out 12 ounces of regular all-purpose flour, and then another 4 ounces of semolina flour, so that way it equaled out to a pound. So you have a pound of flour in here, and then I'm gonna go get some eggs real quick. We're gonna get 6 eggs, beat them together, salt them, all that fun stuff. I already cleaned my countertop. This is gonna get messy, so just be prepared. I should probably put an apron on. That might be a good idea. That's probably a good idea. I don't think about these things before I go ahead and do them, but today we're gonna be proactive because I have a black hoodie on. We won't do it the way that I normally do. We'll just tie it around the back, like how normal chefs at home, cooks, whatever you want to call yourselves, do it. So, like I said, gonna go get some eggs real quick. Gonna get another bowl. We're gonna beat them together real quick, add a little bit of salt for some seasoning, and then we'll get started on the real magic. So I'll be right back. You guys thought I was gonna be gone for long. No, not really. I'm in the kitchen. It's not that far away. So I got my eggs, and all I'm gonna do is literally just put my flour on the counter like this, and then create basically like a well for my flour, or for my eggs, once I get those mixed up. So I'm just gonna use the same bowl because why not? Oh, here's another thing. I've seen a lot of people cracking their eggs on the side of bowls. Actually, you shouldn't do that. You should crack it on a flat surface, so that way you don't have to like worry about getting egg shell inside your bowl. So that's a tip that some people may or may not know. Axel thinks that he's gonna get some food today, but he's not, because he's a butthole. Well, I mean, we're obviously gonna feed him, but you know what I mean. So, got 5, 6 eggs. And of course I dropped an eggshell in there. That's awesome. So, got that. We're gonna take our salt, season generously. Now, if you wanna have like different flavors to your pasta, by all means, add some spices and whatever to this, and then it'll actually turn out really good. However, I'm just gonna be basic today, and we're just gonna do it like this. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and mix it with my hands because I'm gonna be mixing it with my hands down here anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And this is kind of somewhat fun. This is like one of the more fun parts about cooking, is getting to do stuff with your hands. Just gonna, like I said, scramble it together. What are you doing? You coming over to watch me? you gonna say your awesome dad puns?
No.
All right, so now that we have that all mixed together and lovely egg yolks all over my hand, we're gonna put our egg mixture into the little well right here. And then you're just gonna start slowly mixing it together. This is probably like the more tedious part of the whole entire process because you're just kind of like slowly trying to get the flour incorporated into the egg and vice versa. So you're gonna keep doing this until you actually get some dough, then you're gonna knead it together.
You need it?
Yeah, you need it.
Do you need some time?
I do not need some time.
Look, don't get salty with me.
I'm gonna need you not to be doing your dad puns right now. Oh no, that is not what you want to happen.
Uh-oh.
This is not working the way I thought it would. Shit! No! Babe! It didn't incorporate the way it should have. Just gonna incorporate it this way now. Since I messed up. Oh, jeez. This is a freaking disaster. This did not work out the way I thought it would. Anyway, so if you don't mess up like I did, you'll actually get a dough that is not sticky as crap like this. This is awful. I'm so upset right now. This is not how it's supposed to go. If you look at other YouTube videos, which I have no problem with you guys doing that. Yeah. So it's gonna kind of work it together. So much for this being a kid-friendly show. It's okay, these things happen. This is a freaking disaster. Kitty. Oh goodness. See, I knew I shouldn't have tried to make a video today because I'm like, you know what? I don't really feel like doing it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make myself do a video because you never know, it might actually make you want to do something and feel accomplished today. That is not what happened. Now I'm just mad and covered in flour and eggs and salt. But we're gonna mix it all together. And you don't want to knead it too much because it's actually going to break down. The egg protein is going to break down the semolina flour and make an actual like better dough to work with as well. So if this is anything for you guys, this is a what not to do. Make like a bigger well for your dough. That's what I would do. It's like no matter how much I try, like it's just not, it's just all sticking together. It's so bad. Why do I do this to myself? I don't understand it. And then he comes in and he like comes in and just wants to like do some kind of dad pun and then walks out. Like, what the heck? And I was in there shushing people, telling them not to talk while I was trying to listen for people on Call of Duty. You know what? I'm mad at you. Coming in, ruining my video, talking about time, making time jokes. All right, so this I think is as good as I'm gonna get my hands cleaned off for the time being. So I'm just gonna go ahead, rinse my hands off, and then I'll be back because I'm just gonna work this until it's like actual dough. And then once it becomes actual dough, then I'm gonna wrap it in saran wrap and let it rest for a couple hours. And then, excuse me, sorry. Once I'm done doing that, then I'll come back and we'll proceed from there on actually making like fresh pasta sauce and actually rolling out this weird looking dough whenever I have clean hands and I can actually use my pasta attachments that I got for Christmas. Or was it my birthday? It was one of the two. I don't know. I get stuff for Christmas. That's what my family does. They just buy me kitchen stuff for Christmas, which I'm completely okay with because I actually use it, but you know. All right, but anyway, like I said, I'm gonna work this, wash my hands off, get it to where it's actually like a legit dough, and then we'll come back. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Well, I mean, you guys have already been back, but you get what I mean. Anyway, so now I'm actually going to be starting making my pasta sauce. With my pasta sauce, I'm going to use my handy dandy blender. So it might get a little loud. I apologize in advance. Get rid of that cat hair. We're going to go ahead and add 1 can of tomato sauce into our blender. Hey everyone, so I'm gonna go ahead and start making my pasta sauce. So with my pasta sauce, I already put 1 can of tomato sauce into my blender. I'm gonna be using my blender. Actually, in case I have another incident like I did earlier, I'm probably gonna move my phone or my blender away from my phone because my thing kept falling and it was not good. So I have one of these little, like, tiny little spatula things. So I'm just gonna kind of scrape out the rest of my tomato sauce into my blender here. And then I'm gonna take 1 can of stewed tomatoes in the juice. You can get it already pre-seasoned. I don't because I like to just add my own seasonings, but you can do whatever you want. And then the last thing that we have to get out of a can is our tomato paste. Your tomato paste is what's gonna pretty much make this because it helps make it thick and all that wonderful goodness. So we're gonna scrape out our tomato paste. And this is another reason why I have one of these little spatulas, because if you know anything about tomato paste, you know that like the cans are super freaking tiny and it's kind of hard to find something to squeeze down in there to like get all the tomato paste out. And I am not about to waste any of my stuff that I buy. I want all of it. So got pretty much all of the tomato paste all out of there. Pretty freaking clean. So I'm gonna set that off on the side. Now, what you can do is take your tomato paste can, fill it up with red wine, if you're old enough, and if you have red wine. I don't have red wine because I just haven't bought any yet, but you can, if you want, you can add it, whatever. Sorry, I was listening to what he was saying in there because he apparently is playing Call of Duty and is getting mad at people, so sometimes it's funny. But I'm gonna put that in there. Now I have tomato stuff all over my shirt, hoodie thing, whatever. throw those away because we like to keep a clean working space. And now we're just gonna go ahead and add our seasonings. I like to have like this Italian seasoning and add some of it into my mixture here, because this Italian seasoning stuff that it has, it's got a couple of ingredients, or well, a couple spices that I don't have for some reason. And it looks like I'm putting a lot in here, but the reason being is because it's gonna all mix together and you want it to like be really good and seasoned. So don't be shy with it. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic powder. I'll probably throw in some fresh garlic and a little bit of onion powder to give a little bit more flavor. And then normally I have bay leaves, but apparently I didn't buy any, so bay leaves will not be included in this. But you're gonna go ahead and mix this up, and then once it's all nice and mixed, you're gonna put it into your saucepan, and then we will go from there. Okay, so I put my pasta sauce on. I did add some garlic to it, but I put it on medium-low heat in a pan, and that's gonna go ahead and start cooking. You're gonna want to cook it for, I don't know, about like a half hour or so, and then just kind of keep it warm. So now we're gonna start on the actual pasta. So your pasta dough has been sitting for a little bit, and it's had time to get together. Again, I'm gonna put on my apron so that way I don't get my hoodie all covered in flour, because that's never fun. Especially when you have a black hoodie, because I made right decisions today, apparently. As far as working with your pasta dough, so I just, like I said, I wrapped it in plastic wrap, and then I set it aside so that way it could just rest for a little bit after I worked it together, and I made it look all pretty like this. I'm so happy. The first time I made pasta dough, it did not turn out pretty like this, and I was so upset. I was like, and it was like the first time I ever actually was trying to show off to my boyfriend, like with my cooking skills. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make my homemade pasta sauce, my homemade pasta. And I was like, I'm gonna be all bougie about this. And then it did not turn out well because I did not use this same recipe. So now I'm using my semolina flour, which is definitely helping with how everything turns out, and the way that this dough is looking. It looks absolutely perfect the way it should be. I don't have a rolling pin, and I don't really use a rolling pin. Okay, so I'm back. I'm done using this. This thing, like, it doesn't work the way that I thought it was, and it's really just making me mad. It works for some times, and it doesn't work other times. So back to the drawing board on how to get you guys a better view. I'm back on my tripod. I went ahead and just dusted some flour on my work surface again. Also cleaned this off. I'm sure most of you are like, what did you use to clean it with? Well, I used bleach, and the reason why I use bleach is because I know for a fact that bleach kills a lot of like stuff, a lot of bacteria. I'm just trying to get flour coated all over my Kitchenaid attachment here that I got going on. I can wipe my hands on my apron and not get dirty. So quick side note, we'll go over here real quick. Once your pasta sauce starts to get like this, and you can see where I just like threw the freaking garlic in there. Once it starts to basically boil, I like to move it back off the heat a little bit, lift up the lovely lid, and then you just want to kind of start mixing it around to where it's like all incorporated and getting evenly heated up. And then if you really want to, you can probably taste that and it'll be pretty good. If you don't have wine in there, I don't have wine in mine. So once it starts getting to that bubbling point, I just turn my heat down to low. I know I have an electric cooktop. It was here when I got here. Was not my choice. But anyway, oh, also, if you haven't already guessed it, my oven is preheated at 350 degrees because we're gonna be making some garlic bread too. So we'll go back over here to this lovely setup, and I got my pasta attachment already connected to my KitchenAid. If you've ever used one of these before, you know that this bottom part will turn on whenever you turn on this part up here, and it rolls the stuff to actually roll out the pasta. And then this is your dial that makes your pasta thinner. You always want to start it out on the largest possible setting, so that way when you run your pasta through, you can like gradually like thin it out. And I'm going to take my pasta dough. We're going to go through there. This is my other attachment. This is the actual spaghetti attachment. And we're going to be using that one today. I have like 3 other attachments, I think. I have like linguine noodles, fettuccine noodles, and then like angel hair pasta noodles. So we're going to just keep going with the spaghetti ones and get this all rolled out, and I'll just kind of walk you guys through the process. So now we're back to this view. So we're gonna take our pasta dough out of the wrapper and set it here on our flour, so that way it doesn't stick. It's okay if there's flour on it. It's not gonna hurt it. Let me get my dough cutter real quick. If you don't have one of these, I would highly suggest getting one because they're so useful, especially like in circumstances like this. They have like, I have a metal one, but they sell like plastic ones too. But it's just a legit like piece of metal that I just can cut this up with. So I'm gonna set that aside for right now. Pick it back up, had to go get rid of my towel. And then I like to cut it into 4s. So that way it's a little bit more manageable. You can do whatever you want, doesn't really matter. That's just what I like to do. Then you can kind of roll it up a little bit into like a little ball. And then you're just gonna stick it through your KitchenAid pasta attachment. If you don't have a pasta attachment, you could always go and get, this is another reason why I like it, because you can just scoop up the excess flour. I wonder if drug dealers use these. It's always been a question of mine. Whenever I used these in school, I was like, I wonder if like drug dealers get like stuff like this, or do they just use razor blades? I don't know. I don't do drugs. But I'm gonna turn it on to the lowest setting and then start feeding my pasta through the actual KitchenAid mixer attachment. As you can see, it's starting to come out all nice and thin. And I'm gonna add flour to it as I go because it's sticky right now. And I don't want my pasta dough to get stuck to this. Now, I like to run it through each size at least twice. And that's just my own personal preference. You can do whatever you want. And just look how pretty it comes out. Like, come on. That is gorgeous. Some people flip it over and do it again, but you know, I do what I want. So I'm gonna set it to, I had it on 1. I'm gonna set it to 3 now. And then from there, we're just gonna probably roll it out till it's about at either 6 or 7. I don't really wanna go too thin because there's no real need for that. Just because I'm gonna be making spaghetti noodles. and you need some kind of thickness so that way you can actually have like legit pasta. So turn it back on. Back through it goes. Actually, you know what? I'm probably gonna stop at 3 because this is pretty thin. So, like I said, pass it through twice. And if you're wondering why I'm doing, like, having my hands here, it's because your pasta dough is really flimsy and you don't want it to break. So there is my first stretched out piece of pasta dough. So I'm going to turn that off, get this bad boy out. Comes out, it's got a little screw attachment at the top. Set that aside. And then I'm going to take my spaghetti attachment, line it up, screw it in, and turn it on. And from there, you just feed it on through. And come on. I'm having some technical difficulties if you can't see. I'm sure you can. It's okay, you guys can make fun of me. But that's roughly about what you want. So this can be my test subject. That did not work the way that I thought it would, and it's stuck. That's fantastic. But as you can see, this is kind of what you're gonna get. You're gonna get like spaghetti noodles that look like that. I should have done it the way that I should, like, know how to do it, where I can get the flour mixed into all of it. So, gonna take that off. I have my other pasta set aside, and do be careful when you're doing this, because I mean, even though it's going at a low rate of speed, you don't want to like stick your fingers in this stuff, because it can potentially hurt you. Just a word to the wise. So, practice number 2. I turned it on. And if you've ever had a Kitchenaid mixer before, you know that like it has like a safety feature on it, so that way you can't just like turn it on and then like go on about your business or whatever. Like you have to make sure it goes to like a certain click or whatever. Just gonna pull the first part out. Again, dust it with some flour so that way it doesn't get stuck. Turn that off because that's kind of annoying. And then flip it over. Do the same thing. Dust it with flour. This time I'm going to fold it so that way I can get it more incorporated. There it goes. And it's more even. Mix that up. Flour. Make sure to flour your dough. It will be okay, I promise. And just keep kind of folding it over for a couple times until you get the consistency and thickness that you want. So I think I'm probably going to be happy with this right here. So I'll probably flour it again. Because again, we do not want it to stick. Sticking is bad. As you saw in the first demonstration. I don't know what happened there. I know better. And also, it's kind of been a while since I've used this, so please forgive me. It's been a hot minute. But I turned it to 3, and then I'm just going to feed it back through. And And that looks pretty good to me. This will actually provide you with a lot of pasta. So I'm just gonna run it through once because I don't think it really needs to go through another time. Unscrew it. All right, round 2 with the spaghetti attachment. Gonna put the attachment back on and then feed it through. Hopefully we don't have the same issue that happened last time. It could also be because it's a newer attachment and it hasn't seen a lot of love from me yet. That could be a reason as to why it's being a little difficult. But you know, it's still getting the job done. It doesn't matter. As long as I have pasta after this, that's all I'm really caring about. It doesn't matter at this point if it looks pretty to me or not. I want it to look pretty, yes. However, I'm going to take what I can get. So I would say we got about 2 servings of spaghetti noodles now. And it does such a great job too of like just getting it all separated out and being cool, nice like noodles and stuff like that. So one thing I did forget to mention, try to lay your noodles out straight, just for like spaghetti noodles. And the good thing about like the semolina flour and stuff like that, you can actually let this dry. You can like just, if you have a like hanging rack, I'm gonna be making my pasta like as soon as I get done working with the dough, but you can set it out to dry and do that. So that's another cool thing that I forgot to mention. The semolina flour actually works as like a really good preservative for it, so that's why. So, oh no, oh goodness, I almost made a rookie mistake about not changing out my, changing out my thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and then probably gonna fast forward through all of this part as I get the rest of my pasta done. And then clean this all up, get my water started, and then probably head on to actually getting my garlic bread ready and then showing you how long it takes to get all of this pasta cooked up. So actually I'm gonna stop recording, finish all of this, knock this out, and then we'll go back to over there. All right, guys, so welcome back. I went ahead and I finished all my pasta. I am covered in flour right now, which is fine because that's the part of the fun of making pasta is making a mess. So, I got all my pasta done, laid out. It's kind of the last one that I did looks the best, if you can't tell. So that's sitting over there. I got my water on high, and basically all you're gonna do now is just kind of cook it like how you would normal pasta. And then I'm just gonna make some quick garlic bread. I'm just gonna take normal bread, put some butter, garlic, and some cheese, Parmesan cheese on top of it, and then get that all mixed together. My pasta sauce is almost done. I want to show you how quick this pasta does cook, because it doesn't cook very slow. It's not like your normal store-bought pasta. It cooks pretty quick, and you need to keep an eye on it. Like 2 to 5 minutes max is what you need. How much you should cook this pasta, like your fresh pasta. And because it's already in that pliable state. You want it to be al dente. Al dente means to taste. I definitely just dropped a piece in there. Oh well. But I dropped another piece. But yeah, so you just want it to where it's like not gonna stretch. you want it to be like in this solid state. So literally probably like a couple minutes. Like I said, like 2 to 5 minutes is like the max that this pasta really needs to cook. But after that, I will submit a picture into all this, and then, you know, we'll go from there and see what else we can figure out what to cook. Again, thank you all for, you know, subscribing to my channel and watching. I really appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button somewhere in the area down here on the video. And also like, and if you want to see something specific, just go ahead and, you know, comment down below and we'll go from there. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to having you guys back.